Today on Monkey Life, Jeremy comes to the rescue of 3 squirrel monkeys, discovered following a police raid, and he's shocked by their living conditions.
Why would people find this remotely acceptable?
And Sonny's ground-dwelling Capuchin group go up in the world, testing out their revamped enclosure. Plus, a cracking start to the day for Hananya's chimps, with eggs for breakfast. And it's a scramble to see who can collect the most. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Hello, missus. Hi, you. Are you a good girl?
The park provides a home for more than 250 monkeys and apes from 21 different species. The park's mission to help primates in need is ongoing, and there are always new cases coming to Alison's attention. This means the park is constantly evolving to meet the needs of its residents.
This platform, I guess.
The rescue centre's infrastructure also needs to evolve to meet new challenges, many of which are due to the number of rescues resulting from the British pet trade. In recent weeks, the Squirrel Monkey House has undergone a major renovation. It now has larger bedrooms and interconnecting tunnels to help staff manage the different groups living here.
This one's going to go from there. Yeah, there.
It couldn't have been better timed. There are currently 5 primates living in this house, 4 squirrel monkeys and a Saki monkey, but that's about to change.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Alison received a call from the RSPCA following a police drugs raid at a home near Bridgewater in Somerset. Officers found 3 squirrel monkeys and a macaque in poor conditions at the property. Animal Director Jeremy is now on his way to pick up the 3 squirrel monkeys. Alison has managed to find a home for the macaque at another rescue centre, which already cares for the species.
We don't have a long-term plan as yet, but we've got the new house that we recently have completed, so we have a couple of bedrooms that we can free up for these short-term until we decide what their long-term future is going to be.
An RSPCA inspector is meeting Jeremy at the property. The macaque was found outside with no heating in a filthy cage on a converted trailer, and without a companion.
I don't know what you'd like. Here you go, my man. Here you go, look at that. What's that? There's my boy. He's a crab-eating macaque. He's actually in quite good shape. Obviously a bit lonely on his own. It's hardly a nice place to be, is it?
The 3 squirrel monkeys have been living in a kitchen area in filthy conditions. Since the police raid, the RSPCA have been feeding and monitoring them while awaiting Jeremy's arrival.
Such an intelligent animal, a primate, needs lots of enrichment. This is, if you look around, you don't keep them in the back of the kitchen really, and keep them in these dirty conditions. You know, that highlighted us to us. We sort of looked at the DEFRA codes in relation to primates and realised they're contravening lots of welfare issues. So decided to contact Monkey World to come and assist us.
The filth and lack of care these 3 little primates have had to endure has dismayed Jeremy.
Why would people find this remotely acceptable or remotely okay? I don't know. I mean, they're not fantastic condition. Their coats are not too bad. They're a bit, obviously a bit khaki because of all the stuff in here, but the saving grace is they've got a big area, so I've seen worse. But that doesn't make it good.
Jeremy needs to catch all 3 monkeys and put them in separate boxes.
I'm a great believer in bribery and corruption.
If he can't entice them in with fruit and mealworms, he'll have to resort to using a net, which can be more stressful. Unfortunately, all three are immediately wary of Jeremy, and no amount of bribery will tempt them into the boxes. Jeremy has no choice but to try and net them.
I think they know what a net is.
But catching such small and agile monkeys is no easy feat. After being given the runaround for a few minutes, Jeremy successfully catches 2 of the monkeys using the net. The final one is the smallest of the 3. Jeremy thinks he's just a youngster, so wants to minimise the stress as much as possible.
The little one just wanted cover, so I set the box up down in the corner where he could take that cover by going into the box, and he did, so I didn't even have to net him.
With all 3 now successfully in their travel boxes, Jeremy can take a closer look.
I would say that's a little female, that's a sub-adult male, and the little one is probably a male, but I'm not sure.
A vet check back at base later will confirm if he's right and establish their condition. But for the moment, Jeremy's just keen to get all 3 away from the horrendous conditions, back to the safety of the park, and, hopefully, a brighter future. For 30 years, Monkey World has been involved in the rescue and rehabilitation of more than 20 different species of primate, from solitary marmosets to an overweight orangutan and a whole gang of chimps. But this year, the team are marking the 10th anniversary of their most ambitious rescue ever. Back then, Alison received an extraordinary call asking if she could rehome 88 Capuchin monkeys from a laboratory in Chile. It turned out to be the biggest rescue mission of its kind. The original plan was to move them in batches over a few months, but problems with animal rights protesters in Chile meant, for Alison, it was all or nothing.
It stinks of craziness. It stinks of crazy. Even when I say it to this day, it is a little bit nuts, but not what we had originally planned for. But you know, you have to sort of come up with solutions a lot of the time. So with that in mind, how do you organize the move of 88 monkeys? And that was the next huge hurdle.
Luckily for the team, help wasn't very far away.
Somehow, the Chilean Air Force found out about us wanting to move the monkeys and stepped forward and contacted us, offering to fly all of the monkeys and our team back to UK. It was magic. It was meant to be. I mean, you couldn't have even written the script. I wouldn't have even known. You know, we've done military flights before. We've had the military help us out. But this was on a level and a scale that we had never considered before.
All 88 Capuchins made it safely to the park, and the 66 females and 22 males were given new homes and names, rather than just a laboratory number. The park's staff were there to support them right from the start, but it wasn't easy. The Capuchins would have to learn from scratch how to live in big spaces, communicate, and develop social skills. But against all the odds, they all settled down and formed lasting relationships. Now, 10 years later, the transformation into 5 content and happy groups is wonderful to see.
After 10 years, I'd like to think that we're now at least in the next phase of life. All of those young fluffies are no longer young, and they're not even particularly fluffy anymore. So everybody's grown up now. So it's going to be a tough few years coming up, but it's an important part of what we do, to be there for them throughout their lives.
The Capuchin group who've struggled the most is headed up by Sunny. The troop are mostly Chilean, with a few refugees from the pet trade. But even they have come good, and today life is going to get even better, with a newly redesigned enclosure now ready to explore. For the last 2 months, all 22 Capuchins in Sonny's group have been kept indoors, while the maintenance team undertook the major revamp. Now, along with new fencing, there's a smart new climbing frame with bespoke platforms and ramps.
There's 22 individuals of varying ages, but a lot of the individuals in this group do have mobility issues, suspected arthritis. Terry, for example, who came from the pet trade, certainly has spinal issues. So it's kind of been developed with that in mind, really. Lots of ramps to make it easy for them to move around. They have got some hosing and cargo nets for the younger individuals in the group, and also to challenge those older guys as well, because, you know, we still want them to be active. So it's got lots of elements to it, but hopefully it's suited to all those different individuals.
Sonny's group are more than ready to try it out. Some of them haven't fared so well in other groups due to psychological or mobility issues. They've become known as the ground dwellers, with many spending the majority of their time moving around the floor, either not wanting or unable to climb up high. The care team hope the newly revamped enclosure will encourage more activity in the group and persuade them to display more natural behaviours. High-ranking Lizzie, not overawed by the new enclosure, gets stuck right in, easily using the cargo nets to get up high. Meanwhile, Lilia has found one of the new snuggly shelters, hoping for a peaceful retreat when she needs it. Scrapper is using her tail as a counterbalance as she nimbly negotiates the new hoses. And the new ladders are a doddle for Mushroom. It's great to see so many of the group, undaunted, taking such joy in their new enclosure. Leader of the group, Sonny, is a little distracted by Mole, one of his females. Wherever she goes, he follows. Sonny's an amiable character, although not hugely bright for a Capuchin. But what he lacks in brains, he more than makes up for in looks.
He's a pretty relaxed, dominant male. He doesn't really get involved in politics. Unfortunately, I don't think he really understands it. The females all absolutely love him, though, so when they come into season, they follow him around like he's the best thing in fashion. He doesn't always know what to do with the females, but he adores the attention. He's not the best role model as far as dominant males come.
Not all the Capuchins are from the Chilean laboratory. Gizmo is one of the 2 individuals in this group who came via the British pet trade. He arrived in 2004, rescued from a house in Ipswich, where he was living in horrendous conditions in a filthy shed. Gizmo has never really recovered from the trauma of his previous life, and the sight of a brand new enclosure has made him very nervous.
Unfortunately, he does spend a lot of time on his own. He still finds it very difficult to interact with the other Capuchins. He's not really sure which behaviours are the right ones to do at particular moments. He's not fully integrated as much as we would like, but he's still doing really well. I'm hoping that the enclosure will suit him even better because there's now more places where he can go, still use the elements of the enclosure, but just not be bombarded with the dominant individuals.
Terry is the group's other pet trade survivor and the longest Capuchin resident at the park. She's thought to be in her 30s, but despite her age, she shows a little sprightly girl power as she scales the hoses onto one of the higher platforms. It's heartwarming to see that after 10 years, the vast majority of the Chilean Capuchins, and indeed those rescued from the pet trade, are now able to live more natural lives, mirroring, as much as possible, those they should have enjoyed in the wild. Feeding all the primates is a real challenge for the Monkey World team. The park provides a huge variety of food to a diverse mix of species. They all have their own unique dietary requirements. Staff work hard to provide them with the food and nutrients they need, taking into account their natural behaviour and social groups. There are 54 chimpanzees split across 4 enclosures at Monkey World, and when it comes to feeding time, the care team have their work cut out.
They have a really varied diet in the wild, and it's It's quite hard for us to replicate that in captivity because a lot of the food that they eat in the wild is low calorie. So we have to try and balance that by trying to provide them with lots of low calorie items so that we can give them the bulk that they need to keep them busy. We do provide them with a wide variety of fruit and vegetables. Vegetables are better because they're lower calorie and more like the fruit that they eat in the wild. But obviously they do enjoy the fruit, so it's something that we do give them, but it's a bit more limited.
Today at Hanania's, the chimps are going to be fed hard-boiled eggs, a protein-rich food they enjoy once a week.
They would actually eat eggs in the wild. It's something that they would eat occasionally, so it's important for us to try and replicate as much wild behaviour as we can here. They're a good source of protein, and they do love them. We'll let them cool down a bit, but we'll feed them out when they're still a little bit warm because they enjoy them when they're a bit warm.
Once they're ready, the chimps will have to peel the eggs themselves.
Just like us, they've got opposable thumbs, so that means that they can actually do very delicate movements with their hands. And yeah, some of them you'll see like picking the tiniest bit of shell off the egg because they don't like the shell, and others will just stuff it in and eat the thing whole.
While the eggs are cooking, Hanania and his troop are outside enjoying the sunshine. Chimps are natural foragers. In the wild, they have to spend a large portion of their day foraging for insects, fruit, leaves, and browse. In captivity, because of limited space, this isn't always practical, but every effort is made to ensure the enclosures have as much wild planting as possible. Hanania's group is especially fortunate, having huge areas of gorse they thoroughly enjoy throughout the year, prickles and all. It currently has delicious coconut-smelling flowers, which the chimps have to tease away from the prickly thorns. This can keep them busy for hours, really testing their concentration and patience, qualities not always present in chimps.
They love to sort of pick the flowers off the gorse because they are quite sweet. I mean, it's nice for us to be able to see them doing something that seems a bit more natural to them because it's something that we haven't provided. It's something that they found themselves, and it encourages natural foraging behaviour for them.
But Honey is finding the gorse a bit prickly. Now for the main course. The eggs are ready. And so are the chimps. They know what's coming. Hannah is going to scatter them over the fence in the hope that everyone will get a share. But she'll keep a few back for any low rankers who miss out. Everyone is egg-sighted, and it's a scramble to grab as many eggs as possible. Trudy is showing the way. She's poached a double handful and is eating them as quickly as she can. Macaque has better table manners. He cracks his egg open before carefully eating the yolk first. Leader Hanania grabs half a dozen and digs in. He doesn't seem keen on the shell, but is a master at gently peeling it off with his teeth. Cookie is another who shells her egg. Even the low rankers, like Arthur, manage an egg or two. Although he's always wary in case any at the top of the hierarchy are nearby. Jess demonstrates just how like humans chimps are, easily using her opposable thumb and fingers to peel the egg. Trudy joins Peggy to eat her hoard. She's not going to share with anybody. While Honey is still tucking into her egg, Arthur is having a side salad with his, a bit of gorse. It's been an excellent breakfast, with no squabbles over the coveted treat, and the group settle down contentedly to enjoy the day. Sunny side up. After a short journey from Somerset, Jeremy has arrived back at the park with 3 rescued squirrel monkeys. The RSPCA contacted Alison for help following a police raid, which uncovered the primates housed in filthy conditions at a home in Somerset.
Yeah, that's a little boy. He's quite a baby.
You are cute.
He is quite, I bet you he's quite tame, actually.
Yeah.
He's quite a baby.
Jeremy's relieved to have the trio safe at the park. But until they have a health check, no one is certain of their ages or if they're related.
I bet you that's mum and dad and baby. I don't know, who knows?
God, that one's small. So definitely 2 boys and a girl.
No.
Oh, not checked.
No, they're 3 monkeys. And the squirrel monkeys.
The 3 new arrivals will join 4 other squirrel monkeys, plus a Saki monkey, at their newly renovated complex.
Hi, little one. I have you.
While they're still in their travel boxes, Karen and Kate take the opportunity to weigh them.
2.48.
For now, they'll be kept apart from the existing group in opposite bedrooms, but they'll all be able to see one another. If they get the all clear from their health checks, the team can think about introducing them to the park's other resident squirrel monkeys.
Today we've separated 2 rooms off for them. So we're going to put them in there. There's loads of tasty food, there's insects, stuff for them to do. So hopefully we'll just put them in, make sure they're eating, make sure they're drinking, double check their sexes, and then take it from there.
The 3 common squirrel monkeys are released into their new home. Charlie is also a common squirrel monkey and the park's only male. He's in the bedroom opposite, ready to greet them.
Oh, Charlie, what do you think?
It's a noisy welcome for the new neighbours as Charlie makes sure they know this is his territory.
Wowzers, guys. Very exciting, isn't it? Hi.
It's not long before the 3 realise there's food to be had in the room and are soon foraging for mealworms. Karen and Kate can now get a better look at the animals and confirm they have 2 males and 1 female. So far, things seem to be going smoothly.
So the plan for the next couple of days is just to leave them to settle in, really. They've got 2 rooms in here. They've also got the cage outside, so probably tomorrow, depending on how they've settled for the rest of the day, and tonight, we could give them outside access. But it is nice. We only have 4 squirrel monkeys, so a nicer group will hopefully be good for them as well, because if you've got more friends and a bigger group, there's more interest, there's more to do, there's more animals to interact with. So it will be nice. We're just fingers crossed that they all get on, and then we'd have a nice group of 7.
Next time on Monkey Life. Health checks on the 3 rescued squirrel monkeys cause concern.
She's got very low body weight. She is emaciated, so the guys here have got a bit of work to do to get her back to full health.
And baby orangutan Mimi takes her next step to becoming a full member of the nursery group.